Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly Sutton. I'm the host of the Grand Ole Opry and also WSM Radio. And I am so excited to be joined with two of our friends. Man, we are all around the world. Well, Nikki DeLoach is around the corner from me in New York right now. James Denton is in California, but we're coming together because there is a huge premiere happening this weekend. Hi, friends.
Hi,
Hey, how you doing, Kelly?
Kelly.
Good to see you again.
It's
You
so good
guys,
to see
it
you.
it
Okay, a
never
Grand Ole
gets
Opry
old.
Christmas. It's
It
happening.
is happening. It also never gets old, Kelly, when you say the host of the Grand Ole Opry and WSM. Like
That's
every
right.
time you say it, I'm just like, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
You're hilarious. Let me just tell you, every time I say it, I'm also like, is someone going to come behind me and be like, No, you're not.
No, ma'am,
Uh,
you
No,
are.
ma'am.
Yes, you are. And like I have said before, you were so beloved in that
You're
place. And I know
sweet.
why, because it's how you interact with everybody and the kindness and the heart, and it's just like you're welcoming people into your home and in your living room, and no wonder they're in love with you and you're
Oh,
doing what you're doing. So
hard agree. Hard agree.
listen,
mhm.
Nikki DeLoach, now my publicist. Y'all can reach out to her at any time. I just have to tell you, first of all, the idea of having Hallmark Channel and Grand Ole Opry together is just brilliant. So
Mhm.
hats off to all of the writers and everyone who made this happen. But then watching your crew and everyone come in and get to experience the Grand Ole Opry it's so fun to watch it through your eyes. And so I want you to kind of walk us through that very first day when you got to walk into the artist entrance backstage. You got to see the entire layout of the land and then see
Kelly, I'm
the
gonna start
stage.
crying again.
Well, that's my purpose, is to make you cry, truly. So I'm glad I'm doing my
Barbara
job. Barbara
Walters,
Walters,
stand
it's me,
down.
it's me. Oh,
Literally, the second you said it, my eyes started tearing up
I
because
know.
you guys, I can't be in this building without crying. And Kelly can attest to it because I've sat side stage with her now for so many different
Right,
shows.
right.
And she just hands me the box of Kleenex throughout the, she just passes them to me because all I do is cry.
I know.
James, I'll say a little bit and then I'll pop it over to you because
Oh
I'm sure
no.
you had your experience because you live in Nashville or you're from Nashville. Um, as many people have know, and probably everyone watching has heard the story of what it meant to me, what that place meant to me and my dad, and wanting to be able to go together. And, he passed. We never were able to do that before he passed. And so for me, I am so glad that I stepped into that building before we started filming, even though
Mhm.
the tears didn't stop. But that first night that we went into the artist entrance and we took the tour and then went out on stage and stood in that circle, I cried so hard, like ugly cry, which, listen, they like you to cry on camera, like pretty cry. We are not Claire Danes in Homeland. This is Hallmark. Um, and so I'm glad that I got all of those tears, like
Mhm.
the that out, out of the way, because it was truly a dream come true. And as much as you imagine it in your head, it isn't. It is just to see it come alive in front of you and to be there in person. I've been telling everyone that I know, you got to go to Nashville. You got to go to the Grand Ole Opry. And if you go, you have to take the tour. I mean, what a dream come true, right,
Mhm.
James?
Oh yeah, it was really fun. It's funny when I first was offered the movie or the tiny role I have in the movie. When I was first contacted, I thought it was gonna be the Ryman. And
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, and so but it's funny, I wasn't disappointed because I had done a big charity fundraiser for the Nashville flood with Kimberly Williams at the
Oh,
right,
yes.
Ryman. I don't
right.
know, 10 or 15 years ago. So I
Mhm.
had been on stage at the Ryman for that reason. So
Mm.
I was glad it was at the new Grand Ole Opry House because I grew up with that Opry House. It opened in 73, 75, something like that. So I saw a bunch of concerts there when I was growing up. We saw everybody at the Opry House. So for me, it was really fun to be in that building to shoot it. So I had the same sort of experience you did, where it was really, sort of emotional because I just spent so much time there in my youth, and then being on
Oh,
that stage
Yeah.
is fantastic. So, And you can just feel, I mean, it's like it's haunted in a good way. You can really
Yeah.
feel the ghosts of walking around, looking at all the pictures, all the dressing rooms with people's names on them. And yeah, it's a pretty amazing place. And I honestly think that that comes through in the movie. Don't you?
Mhm.
I think all the behind the scenes stuff, like T. Graham walking people around, the tour group coming through, and there's so many Opry stars in it. I think we actually, or you guys, captured that in the movie. I thought really well. I think the audience will feel that sort of behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, here's the thing that's so beautiful about it. You nailed it. 1974 is when we moved out there. So I'm here for the fact check. But
We, as if you were born, we moved out
51 years.
there.
I came shortly after. As fast as I could get there is when I got there. But yeah, 51 years that we've been in that building as the Grand Ole Opry. And
Mm.
can you believe this coming Friday, the 28th, is the 100th year
Yeah.
anniversary
The
of the Grand
28th.
Ole Opry, the 28th. And
Yeah.
then the movie airs on the 29th. So what
Crazy.
an incredible way to celebrate the legacy. But I think you nailed it, James. If you haven't been before, walking in and seeing the history and feeling, we like to say it's hillbilly dust. There's a lot of hillbilly dust in that building.
Mm.
And you feel it, you see it, and it's on that floor, especially the circle of wood that came from the Ryman, which was one of the original
Yeah.
homes before. Feeling that through your feet when you're standing in that circle. And I had the chance to announce you and to have you come out as your character. We're not giving too much away, but
No.
to watch that moment happen, I'm like, man, this is really magical. And I'm so glad that we got it on film for everybody to see.
And
It
it's
takes
also,
your breath away.
yeah, and it's hard to believe for me, actually being a Nashville native, because when I mentioned the Ryman and someone an AD or somebody's giving me a schedule said, "Oh no, we're at the new Opry House." So
Yeah.
to me, that's
Yeah.
the new Opry House, and
Yep.
and they think it was 51 years in this building and 49 in the Ryman, which is crazy. But of the 100 years,
They had a
right, you
multiple
did
years. Yeah.
51 in this building. So we call it the new
Yeah.
Opry House in Nashville, but it's been there 50 years. I just don't want to admit I was seeing concerts 50 years ago.
The other
Well, you were
thing
a child. You were a child.
I was a very toddler.
the
We
other
lads.
thing that I will say, just to add to that, Kelly, because you just said like the hillbilly dust and you can feel it coming up through your feet. And that's why I was like, you can never imagine like whatever is in your imagination, it just the energy of that place. I think I was so taken aback and I'm still trying to wrap my brain around the preciousness of, I have lived many lifetimes, many careers, also in the music business, but it was pop music, Mickey Mouse Club, like, so many different things that I've done. And to be in a space that is
Mm,
mission first,
mm,
because,
mhm.
Shayna, who is the head of events for Hallmark, and we were just there recently for James Taylor's debut, which we
So
can get into
cool.
that or not. I don't know. So Shayna was like, "What is it? What is it? Why do I just feel this like expansion? I just feel like joy and like I want to cry." And I was like, I thought a lot about it when I was there. Yes, it's historical. Yes, it's iconic. So many dreams have come true in that building. But what I think, when it really boils down to it, is every person from the security guard that you walk in and who greets you at that artist entrance, to everybody side stage running the stage managers, to you, Kelly, to every artist that I met. They are mission first. They understand and have so much respect for the legacy of that place.
Mm,
There's no ego.
right.
Those members of the Opry, like Vince Gill, I just walked right into it. All the doors are open backstage. They're all back there just jamming, open door policy. You can walk right in. You can introduce yourself. Nobody thinks they're better than. They are really like, even meeting Vince, who's one of the sweetest, dearest. Oh my goodness. He's become this like statesman. He
Yeah.
understands that, like, am carrying on the legacy and I'm also preserving it for the youth and teaching them about this place. There's just no ego. And I have found that to exist in only very few places. One, Children's Hospital Los Angeles, and to the Grand Ole Opry, where you walk in and you're like, everybody from security all the way up through leadership, they are mission first. There's no ego. And
Yeah.
you can feel that expansiveness when you're in it. And that is a very hard thing to do in the entertainment business, especially when you're dealing with artists.
Right. And for 100 years.
And
Add
for
that on top of
100
it.
years.
For
Add
100 years.
that. Yeah, it's just such an impossible task, but they
It
did
really
it
is.
and they're doing it. It's just amazing to me. It blows my mind.
Well, I want to give everybody who is watching right now a little sneak peek of what they can expect from the movie that again premieres on the 29th. So let's dive in. Tell everyone, if you would, sweet Nikki, about Gentry, the character that you play. Give us a little backstory. We know that she's involved in country music.
Yes. Um, First of all, best name ever, Gentry.
Gentry.
Thank you, Hilty. Thank you, Tracy, our two
So smart.
writers. Such a good name. Um, so Gentry, he had dreams and aspirations of being a songwriter. And life just took her down one too many times. And she let go of that dream, which anybody who has ever dared to dream a dream, we've all been there. I think I've quit this industry 10 times, since I was 8 years old.
hmm hmm I was going to say 10
um,
times this month, or
yeah,
yes, no, I get
yeah,
it. I get it.
correct. No,
Totally.
correct. Or
Totally.
10 times this year. I was like, it's too hard. I can't do it. I can't do it. And she lost her father, who was a legendary country music artist in a duet called Woods Wade and why am I forgetting? James, help me out.
Winters and Wade.
Winters and Wade. And so he is asked to come back to the Opry to celebrate 100 years at Christmas in honor of her father who has passed away. And through the magic of the Opry, the magic of Christmas, she is transported back in time to 1995 when her father was alive, and she is reunited with him. And because there are so many spoilers, I will just say that she is given the courage to, and the faith and the hope renewed again through not just her father and Mac, played by Christopher Balaha, but also James, your character is the one that sets her on this whole trajectory in the first place. That moment that they have together in the beginning of the movie is what makes her think, well, what if, right? And so then she gets the courage and the hope and the faith to then try to find that second act for herself. I've been saying that the Grand Ole Opry Christmas it's a love letter to the Opry, but it's really, and it should be,
hmm
right? But it's
hmm
also a love letter to anyone who has lost someone and
Oh, yeah.
became
Yeah.
miraculously, magically reconnected to them. It's a love letter to anyone who has a dashed dream and then it miraculously, magically is reconnected, to them. And it's a love letter, to never give up hope
Mm.
for your heart's greatest desires. That's really, to me, what this movie is about.
That's it. Perfectly put. Perfectly put. I
Yeah.
love that. I love how you said everything about that because it encompasses not only the idea behind this movie, but a lot of what's happening for singer-songwriters who are in Nashville trying to make it right now. So you kind of laid out a path for a lot of these folks who are like, I can't do this
Don't give up.
anymore.
Don't give
Don't give
up.
up. Yeah,
No.
it is. It's a game of survivor for sure. And James, your character Vaughn, it he really does come in at a pivotal time for Gentry. So what was your thought process in taking on this country music star who's also a legend and you're living in both worlds, but also giving as much as you can to Gentry to push her in the right direction?
Yeah, it's funny to play a character that there's more of my character of Von Winters in the 90s, actually, or a lot of it in the 90s, because that's when a lot of the movie is actually taking place, which is kind
Right.
of fun. So yeah, there's early in the movie, we run into each other. And of course, I've known Gentry since she was a little kid because her dad and I were sort of a Brooks and Dunn in the 90s. And so it was the attitude was sort of being a surrogate father to Gentry, like, because I knew once her dad was gone that I'm sure they spent a lot of time like that, and he spent a lot of time sort of giving her fatherly advice, like he does early in the movie. And then at the end, of course, I won't spoil it, but there's another great scene with them at the end where they get to revisit, some of her feelings for her dad and work in my character writing with him, so it was basically playing Gentry's sort of surrogate father figure, but also trying to carry yourself in that building like you've been there, because I say Brooks and Dunn because it's funny how I presented awards at the CMA Awards and at the ACM Awards back in the day. And both times I got Best Country Duo, and both times Kix and Ronnie won. So
they just won again. They just won again last week.
They should. But I said, I'm just going to give you guys this. I call it the Brooks and Dunn Award. And every time you get an award, I'll show up and I'll present whatever the award is when we're all old and gray. So I've always been a fan. So I kind of pictured Ronnie Dunn a little bit, who was a little bit quieter, a little more aloof. And so just kind of had him in the back of my mind, and just made a point to walk around the building like I belonged there. And then just be sort of Gentry's uncle. And it's kind of that simple, but it was really fun. Being on the stage was so much fun. And yeah, well, you have to see, because I don't want to spoil it, but there are a couple of fantastic scenes where we sort of revisit her past.
I love the whole premise of it. And yes, there are some amazing scenes, which we don't want to spoil. But the one thing about Hallmark movies that we love so much is we know that at the end, there's the thing that I love about Hallmark, and I've said this many times, there will be conflict. There will be, things that your characters that you've fallen in love with are going to have to work through. But at the same time, there's not so much anxious nervousness that something horrible is going to happen. The ending, you're going to get a beautiful ending. So I love that about it.
Yeah, I was so surprised that those two characters die in the end. It was weird. But I thought it was cool, a nice twist.
Great twist. Everything is happy except for this.
Weird is the murder. I've never seen a murder in a Hallmark Christmas movie. So stay tuned.
Weird. So weird that happened. But, we really wanted to give you guys a little bit of everything.
Right.
Oh, spoiler alert.
That's the Halloween sequel. It's going to happen next year. We'll worry about that later.
Yeah.
Come back to it. So let's talk about wardrobe, because you did mention that so much of this is set in the 90s. Was there a piece of clothing or one of the things that you got to wear, a favorite outfit that you were like, yeah, I feel this? I feel like a 90s country star.
Can we talk about Sharon Lawrence's wardrobe?
That was so cool. That dress.
Wait till you see her dress. But anyway, go ahead. That dress, everybody was talking about that dress.
Well, fantastic.
A dress can be a magnificent dress, but on the right person, it could be a piece of art.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, that dress, when she stepped out of that dressing room, she's like, did anybody call for a star? She's such a star. You guys, she's such a star. I have been dying to work with Sharon Lawrence. We have circled each other's lives for 2 decades in this business. And we have seen each other at award shows and gatherings and events and all sorts of, every single time. We instantly connect. And it's like, hi, oh my gosh, how are you? You're amazing. I love you. And we go deep fast. When can we work together? I'm dying to work with you. And oh man, is she everything and more that you think she's going to be? The whole time I was like, well, tell me about NYPD Blue, and tell me about this, and then tell me about that, and tell me when you did Chicago, and
tell me about Broadway. Right.
Boy, can she tell a story in that voice. And oh my gosh. Anyway, she looked incredible. She has this gorgeous dress. And then I think for me, my character is far more reserved, but there is one piece from the same artist in Nashville that made Sharon's piece. And originally there's a party back in 1995 that your character, James, throws. It's a Christmas party that he throws every single year. And in the script, it says that I show up in a sweater and jeans, but it's like a party where everybody else is dressed to the nines. And our brilliant costume designer, Lorraine, She goes, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. And she goes,
Nope.
we're going to change this. And so, ironically, at that moment in time, I was looking to find something for the Countdown to Christmas event from
Hmm.
that same designer. So I went into the truck and I said, Lorraine, can you contact the designer to see if she has something that I can wear to highlight her work and, the movie? And she goes, I have just the dress. She went to the back of the truck and pulled out this silver, beautiful dress with the butterflies. And I was like, wait, what? You've had this in this truck this entire time? What? How am I just seeing this dress? So anyway, I threw it on and she took a picture and she was like, you're wearing this in the party scene. And so anyway, I wear it in the movie. And then I also wore it the night that we did the Countdown to Christmas event. And then it'll go to Kansas City and it'll be on display in Kansas City at the Hallmark headquarters, which is pretty fun.
You talk about wearing a dress. You rock that dress too, by the way.
Thank you, James. Oh,
A lot of talk at the event about you in that dress.
Thanks, buddy.
As soon as I saw you in it, all I could get was Dolly vibes. It was like
That was what I was going
it was
for.
Dolly Parton vibes, and I absolutely was floored. At the minute you walked in, it was perfect.
You know who else said that? And I was like, of course you guys know, because I was like, I want to go like Dolly. I want like that kind of like statement.
Yeah.
And that's when she was like, I have the dress. And the girls from Tiger Lily Gold,
Yes. Kendra and Krista.
like all the country music people went,
Right.
that's Dolly. Like all of you guys
100%.
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you rocked
we
it.
nailed it. Well,
rocked it.
Lorraine nailed it. Lorraine nailed it.
Well, I know you mentioned him earlier, but let's give some love to Chris Palaha because
Oh
he's
my gosh.
absolutely killing it in this. He's Mac. You guys, Gentry and Mac grew up together, childhood friends. Yes.
Yes. So, this movie kept being a situation where I was like, is life imitating art? Is art imitating life? Like, have never had an experience with a movie or with a piece of content, period, that was so close to home in every way. Chris Palaha and I have been besties since 2004. I have lived with him and his wife at two different points in my life.
Wow.
I was the third person to hold his first child when Caleb was born in Hawaii in the hospital. I was house sitting for them and their dog at the time. And Caleb was born. I came to the hospital before even their families. And I've just been a part of their lives for such a long time. And so he is one of my best friends. And
Wow.
so we didn't even have to pretend in this movie. It was just there. All of that, the history and the years, like it was just there, except obviously but never been romantic love because I've been with Ryan for 26 years. He's been with Julianne for 26 years, or no, less than that, but as long as I've known him. But that friendship, that foundation
Hmm.
was just so there. And what an actor, man. I mean, there's nothing he can't do. There was a moment when we were backstage, and it was when we came, Kelly, to do the tour before we filmed.
Yes.
And I think it was Vincent and Daly that were back there with Riders in the Sky, I think maybe, and they were in the dressing room and they were all just like jamming out and they were putting on a show for everyone before the show even started. And Chris and I were peeking, and there was a group of us that had like gathered outside the dressing room. We were watching, and Chris looked at me. I looked at him. We both had tears coming down our eyes. And he said, man, we waited 10 years to do a movie together on this network, but my God, was this worth the wait?
Oh,
And we just
that's
hugged
magical.
and cried and hugged. We could not believe this was happening.
It's so
What a
good.
fun, he's such a fun actor, right, James? He's so fun. He's so childlike and playful and like, oh.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah.
So fun. I love it all. So, we're both in New York. We talked about this. I am currently at a hotel getting ready to leave and fly back to Nashville. So I will get to be in Nashville to watch the movie when it comes out. Nikki,
Uh,
do you want to tell everyone why you're in New York? Because they can see you even before the movie comes out if they're watching their televisions.
That's right. I'm doing the well, I'm doing press all week up here, but I am doing the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on Thursday with Mickey Guyton and with Drew Baldridge. The three of us are going to be on a float together, and I just like you guys. I mean, like, what is this life? What is this life? I don't know what is happening. Like, just grateful. I've just been saying, like, I need to come up with a new word for grateful. You know, it just never, these things, they never gets old.
Mhm.
There's never, a moment where it doesn't feel magical when you get to be asked, when you're asked to do something like, the parade, or like
Yeah.
I just, or even to go to the Opry and to be a part of James Taylor's debut and all of these amazing things that have happened this year. I I honestly am just like, I don't even have words for how grateful I am for every single inch of it. Like, it's just been amazing.
I can't wait to see. Do you know what float you're going to be on? Have they told you yet?
No, but I am going to walk. I'm going to do the walk where they're
Okay.
blowing up all the balloons tomorrow. So I'm hoping that I can like
That's cool.
pick it out and see which one that we're going to be on. But it'll be so much fun. And Mickey is, oh, she's just a doll.
So sweet.
Can't wait to be on that float with her. And Drew, come on, Drew Baldridge. I mean, salt of the earth. He's just such a great dude. And
He
they're
is.
gonna perform "Joy to Your World," and then I'm gonna be on the float trying not to, mess it up for them.
No, you're gonna be great. You're gonna be great. I can't wait. Well, and speaking of, when I was speaking to your musical supervisor,
Oh,
she was telling
Allison,
me
yeah,
that, yeah, that this is the most number of music clearances she's ever had to do for a Hallmark film. So the music in this truly is,
yeah,
I think, going to be next level for all of
yes,
everyone who is a fan of Hallmark, everyone who has watched and has already started watching from the countdown on because we're already in the middle of the programming, which I love. This one will be the one that you walk away humming the songs. As you mentioned, you get the new song
yes.
from Drew and Nikki, but then Brad Paisley, who sets out to do a song or two for the movie, writes an
He does
entire
an
album.
album.
I mean, he
It's
is
the
pretty
most
prolific.
Bradley thing. It's the
He,
most Bradley thing ever.
it's pretty Brad Paisley.
But
It's really
yeah,
on point. But it's Snow Globe Town, by the way, for everybody if you want to check it out.
yes. Please
But
go buy it. It's a great album.
it's so cool to see Grand Ole Opry stars and our friends Whisper and Bill Anderson, who is our longest standing
You
serving member
even
of the Grand Ole Opry.
sweetest,
He's the
sweetest.
sweetest. You've got Susie Boggess in there, who was just
Yes, Pam
inducted
Tillis,
into our Opry. Pam Tillis is there. And then we have a lot of our other friends and some of the biggest stars. I mean, Megan Maroney is in this, and she
Jamie
is
Johnson.
selling like hotcakes. And Jamie Johnson, I mean, we love. So
Hey,
it
Graham.
truly is a
T.
love of
Graham,
all of those
T.
things
Graham
coming
Brown.
together.
Yeah.
Listen, T. Graham Brown. Let me tell you about
Great.
T. Graham Brown. T. Graham Brown. I love that man
What
Hey,
a
on
character.
a different level. But he will also make me say when he comes out on stage, I have to announce him as Emmy winner and Grand Ole Opry star,
Stop
T.
it.
Graham
Stop
Brown.
it.
He's an Emmy winner. He won because he did a song that was, and he's like, "Hey, Kel, make sure you announce I'm an Emmy winner."
that's
And I'm
He's
like,
like,
"I got you. I got
he's going
that's
for the
awesome.
EGOT.
you."
You
Best.
guys, but
Yeah.
He's going
but
for the E.
quarter
Kelly,
quarter of the way there.
yeah,
It's
but
almost
Kelly,
there.
it's true. I do want to.
He's
I
so
need to give
great.
a big shout out to Al because
Yeah.
he absolutely killed in
Hmm.
terms of the music on this movie. And I'm not just saying that. The music, the amount of artists that she got, and also the music, like Tiger
Right.
Lily Gold's Mistletoe Tipsy is a
Are they
banger.
fun?
It's
I
so
know. I
good.
know. I love
Megan
them.
Maroney, like star, come on. And then
Yeah.
Brad's
Yep.
entire album, Snow Globe Town, and specifically the songs he wrote
So
for the
good.
movie are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. And I just, I'm not just saying that, like literally I've been listening to all the songs all like already, and I'm like, my God, the music on this movie is
So
fantastic.
good.
Allison just knocked it out of the park, and that's such a hard thing to do, but man, she did it.
It's so good. Okay. So I know that everyone is gearing up for the weekend. You have a lot of things to do. James, you're getting ready to road trip. I know you were telling us about that before we got started. So I just have one last question for everybody. The personal connection to the Opry and especially Nashville. I know, James, that's hometown. What does starring in this movie mean to you?
Mm. James, you go first.
Wow, I know.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
While Nikki cries, I'll vamp while she
I
finds some
love it.
Kleenex.
That's good. Get some
No, it's
Kleenex.
funny. I'm slowed down a little bit. I haven't done, I was working a lot for Hallmark in the past 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
And this is the only movie I did this year. And it was when they called me about it, everything about it was just so cool. It was just
Mm.
so interesting. I knew immediately it was right in the wheelhouse of our audience, you know. And then, of course, being Nashville, being my hometown and the Opry and everything. And then when they said Brad was going to be in it, so it's all those obvious things. But also, you talk about being, one mission, that's Hallmark as well. Um,
Mm.
and so I felt like this was really, to stretch another metaphor, sort of hitting it on the screws for our audience. I when I read it, I was like, oh yeah, this is the movie to be in this year, and it's so much fun. And I just think it's just and it's no small part from you, Nikki and Chris. I mean, when I was there, just watching you guys from the wings and stuff, it's just I think people are going to love it, and that's why we do it. I mean, at this point, you really do. I mean, nobody's getting super rich. Nobody's, winning EGOTs from this. And we do it because people love it, and we talk to them. Nikki, you talk to them all the time. You see them on the street. You see them on ships. You see them, and this is one that I just know people are going to love, and that's just fun to be a part of something like that.
I
All
agree.
right.
Just
All right.
to
Tell us,
piggyback on
Nikki. Tell us.
what James said, he hit on all the major points. Number one, what an honor to be a part of a tentpole movie for our network. I mean, I've been at the network for 10 years and this is my first. And I did a Hall of Fame years ago, but never a tentpole movie and I'm always grateful to work, but to be a part of something like this, such an honor that I don't take it lightly or for granted, not for 1 second. And so I'm super grateful for that. On top of that, for it to be this movie where I've been saying that like weeks there are God winks. Well, this was a God earthquake for me and my life. You know, I too had a dream of being a singer songwriter and walked away from that early in my life, and it broke my dad's heart and it broke my heart. And
Mm.
so to sing again, that alone, right? I know my storyline changed a bit from singer to then just a songwriter, but I started singing again. And I went back to my first vocal lesson in years and just cried all the way through it because I missed it so much. So I say that by saying, don't let any business or anything ever take something away from you that brings you joy. I wish I never would have let that happen. But here we are. So that being brought back into my life and feeling my dad, who was my biggest cheerleader for me to be a performer and to do it in that building and to do it with Chris and Sharon and James, who I'd been dying to work with for years. And then Eliza and our director, Claire, who are two of my very best friends. Full circle moment. I was, just before on the precipice of my dad passing away when I worked with Claire and Eliza 4 years ago. And it is not lost on me that
Mm.
here we are in this full circle moment. And there they were, to be a part of every second of it. And like, here I go. Then on top of it, on top of it, um, like James said, I know what this will do for our audience too, because I've
Mhm,
heard
mhm.
their stories of loss and grief and heartache and the valleys that they have all crossed in their lives too. And, we share those stories when we meet with each other, and they are our why every single time. Our audience is our why. And so I just hope this movie touches their hearts as much as it touched all of ours. And that's all I can say.
Perfectly said.
You're the best. I love it so much. Thank you guys for taking time. I love seeing your faces. I can't wait for you to come back to the Grand Ole Opry and celebrate with us again. Please don't be strangers.
Oh,
You
Kelly,
guys are part of the family now.
you
You're
know I will
welcome
not.
anytime. I know. I know. Nikki has come back at least 3 times. James, I haven't seen you, so you need to come visit.
I
We need you
actually
back
will.
in. We need you back
Next time
in.
I'm in town, I will.
Please
Mm.
do. It's going to be so much fun for everybody to see it. The premiere's on the 29th. You can watch it, a Grand Ole Opry Christmas, Hallmark Channel, and then it's going to stream the next day on Hallmark Plus. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, Kelly. I love you so
Oh,
much. Thank you for doing this and being a part of this with us. You're
Yes.
magic.
love seeing y'all. Bye.
Bye, James. Bye.
Later. Bye.